Personally, the most interesting aspect of
Jeff Keithley.
Italy's corporate summer showcase wasn't actually the games that were shown, but the people that were actually showing them, or at least one of them. You see, the
Keithley.
nightly corp events are all typically full of the same smiling faces selling you something could deliver an expected PR show and dance. The only time it's never been quite like that was way back when a fella selling his corp dream popped up, threw some swear words out. But other than that, it's the same expected people, the same expected faces, with the same expected words. Well, this Summer Games Fest, Splitgate 2's representation came in the form of a man with a prop and a hat. The hat read, "Make FPS great again." Now, you might be thinking I'm going to launch into a rant about political dog whistles, but frankly, no. I don't feel the trend of make whatever great again is inherently a dog whistle to any politics. It's become a part of pop culture in the same way we see those old Lord Kitchener "We Want You" posters. But would I wear it on live stream in front of an audience filled with people looking for a reason to write something? No. I think putting down Mr. Splitgate's mistakes to malice is, at least, harsh and fairly silly. Now, his comments of being sick of Call of Duty and modern FPSs were misguided, but not exactly surprising. The problem with his comments was the sincerity and the optics of it. And let me explain. For context, I've worked in the industry for a fair while now, and I've been on the sharp end of knives from everyone from every side. I've been interviewed, podcasted, questioned while selling the game or a service. The temptation is always to get a catchy soundbite or marketing hook, and in turn, that's what they're hoping for as well. And nothing hooks people in more than relatability, hence why influencers become such a key factor of most marketing campaigns. I mean, hell, look at how CD Projekt Red chose its influencers around the Cyberpunk launch. But the problem with Mr. Splitgate is, unlike influencers who are essentially a force within themselves, Mr. Splitgate is attached to a project that he's currently fronting and selling. In short, there's a line of responsibility. Don't oversell it, don't overpromise, and don't position yourself as a hypocrite, which is kind of what Mr. Splitgate did. You see, you can't promise to be bucking the trends and bemoan saturation, only to announce your sequel to a game that failed the first time around has now got a Battle Royale mode. The original Splitgate was a nice game that struggled to maintain an extremely competitive market, and then it just kinda ended. Splitgate 2 followed fairly soon after. The thing is, Splitgate 2 is covered in MTX options, skins, battle passes, faction grinds to maintain player attrition, just like the games that Mr. Splitgate vows to be the answer to. The optics were off, and thus the question's sincerity was even more questionable, which of course damages relatability. So why did he do it? As previously touched upon, going outside the typical PR bubble is a quick way to make an impact and a statement, and frankly, corporate events have a history of this kind of thing. As we've already discussed, Mr. Splitgate took the risk, wore a silly, but inoffensive, hat, and it flopped. Not only did it flop, but it made a freshly released game's big spotlight moment turn into a talking point for all the wrong reasons. And to top it all off, the Splitgate 2 Battle Royale trailer used Imagine Dragons, probably the biggest sin of this whole debacle. But it has highlighted a very interesting trend we're seeing more and more. Less than a week ago, we saw the announcement of Thief VR. This announcement was not taken particularly well by PC Gamer, who said, "Oh, there's a new Thief game, but it's VR, who cares?" And how many people came out to criticize that negative comment? That comment that essentially crapped on people's work just on the basis that it's a VR game. Not many. Not many at all, really. At least in and around the industry. But how many people are we seeing coming out and criticizing Mr. Splitgate for, in their words often, crapping on other developers' work? Quite a few. My whole take from the situation is Mr. Splitgate was silly to do this, but it is highlighting some hypocrisy that we've seen for a long time, where people that work in the games industry are too scared to criticize the games media, yet seem more than comfortable in declaring open season on their peers.